Hey parents, this is Mr. Cote joining you back in fourth grade. We're taking a look at the students and parents resource guide for milestones. Just kind of giving you some insights. We're also providing you the link to this resource guide. Once again, like I said, on this resource guide, you want to go to page 4 on this PDF, and you can look for your student's grade level. It says grade 4. And we're gonna take a look at the test blueprint for mathematics, and then I'm going to show you the online resource they've created for math this year that is just phenomenal. So Miss Crawford's been doing a wonderful job with the fourth grade students with mathematics. She's been very thorough. She's doing a great job, and we're just so happy to have her. So let's take a look a bit of here. This is why I love the blueprint for math. It leaves no questions unanswered. They get very specific with the standard right here in the center. See where my cursor is going up and down? These are your standards numbers. And then right up under the domains, which is numerical reasoning, patterning and algebraic reasoning, measurement and data reasoning, and geometric and spatial reasoning, you see these learning targets. Not just learning targets, but also the standard. And it tells you specifically what the students are going to have to know. And we know that there's a total of 58 points. And this tells you exactly the number of points that these students are going to receive for each one of these categories. Over the 2-day testing period, they're going to see a different variety of test questions. And fortunately, unlike ELA, I hope you notice, ELA had a level 4, math does not. ELA had higher level number 3s. I think it was more like 20. No, not at all. You're only going to see anywhere from 6 to 12 questions that are level 3. On the depth of knowledge chart, on level 2, which is a 26 to 32. So this is really where you're going to live here in math. You're going to see a vast majority of your questions are going to come from level 2. And then, of course, your level 1 are your basic, like multi-choice, basic recall situation, being able to recall past knowledge. And then it gives you a little bit of information on this blueprint about the assessment, the item types. Well, what type of items are there? There's going to be a select response or multiple choice, technology enhanced questions, and then a 2-point technology enhanced question. That 2-point technology enhanced question will usually involve a rubric to make sure that the students are getting the specific help they need or the scoring to show most of their knowledge. And of course, just like ELA, they're going to have those field test questions spread throughout the test. It does not hurt them at all. It does not help them either. So, with that being said, one of the other slight differences, these are not standards. These MP1, MP2, they're not technically standards, but they're mathematical practices. And this says where the student should be at their grade level, what they should be thinking at their grade level, what they should be doing with these particular things at their grade level. They're not as much standards as they are expectations. So let's go back, and I wanted to kind of dig into the resource that you have available to you. We're going to go back to the Students and Parents Resource Guide. Once again, go back down to page 4. We're going to select fourth grade, and then we're going to hit the link up under mathematics that says Online Study Resource Guide. Parents, I can't tell you how wonderful this guide is, and I'm hoping you're going to see a little bit of it. So you're going to scroll down to the second page, and at the top of the second page, there's a highlighted pink box that says Georgia Experience Online. You're going to click that box. Let's see test practice and online guides, online tools, study guide for students and parents. You're going to hit mathematics. You're going to choose grade 4 mathematics study guide. All right, continue. Online study guide. We're going to kind of thumb through this here. Parents, this is exactly what your students are going to be seeing. This format, DRC Insight, is the company that is with Georgia, the state of Georgia, and they do the Georgia Online, Georgia Milestones. All of the tools that you'll see inside this online study guide are the same tools they use on the test. What's even better is that the language they use inside this study guide is the exact language they use on the test. So, to be honest with you, using this study guide as a resource will help you and your student advance and achieve at a higher rate because you understand the language that's being asked of the student. Let's talk about the study guide. So, just like what the students will see online. Now, when it comes time for test time, this online study guide will then say Georgia milestones. It'll have the student's name, and then it'll say the test question. It'll be broke down very similar to this. What I like here is they broke down each domain, so you could work on it a little bit every night. So you could pick the first domain, making relevant connections with place value, understanding addition, subtraction of whole numbers. And not only it gives you the key terms, mathematical terms, then it kind of gives you a breakdown of the individual standards inside of this domain. And then it gives you understanding and reasoning that goes along with it, which is just phenomenal. This is very thorough information. And Miss Crawford has done a really good job of utilizing these state resources all this year. So students will be familiar with this terminology. But more importantly, your parent, can actually get in here and take a look at some of this. The population of Pleasantville is 2,378. What is the population of the city rounded to the nearest hundred? So we know where is the hundred in the place value. Well, this is the thousand, this is the hundred, this is the tens, and this is the one. So we're rounding to the nearest hundred. So 3 needs to be rounded to the nearest hundred. How do we round? We look to the right, and that is 7. If it's 5 or more, you round up. 4 or less, you round down. Well, we're at a 7, so that means we need to round up. Let's select D. And what does it say? The correct choice is D. What I like about this, every question that they give you on the study guide has 2 pages to it. First, a question. And then, if you click the next arrow, it gives you the reasoning and the correct answer. It tells you the reasons why the answer is correct. And then it also tells you the reasons why, if you selected something wrong, why it is wrong. The beautiful thing is you also get to keep all the resources and all the knowledge here on the left-hand side with you as you go. And it goes through all of the standards. So I would say we start testing mathematics, not next week, but the following week. Next week is specifically dedicated to ELA. So throughout, when they get home on the evening times, I don't want you to overwork them. But hey, why don't y'all sit down and look at a particular domain in math? You don't have to do the whole test practice, but go through and look at the key terms. Look at how some of these problems must be worked. Okay, this is Unit 2, exploring real life phenomena through patterning and algebraic reasoning. So, as you notice, you see reasoning on a lot. That's what we're trying to get to with mathematics, is that the students can explain why things are happening, not just so they can count and that they can memorize multiplication facts. It's not the same anymore, parents. They have to provide a reasoning to why something is what it is. All right. I hope this little run through has been helpful in how to find the student resource guide for mathematics. I hope that you go online and use this. Please let us know if you have any questions. We'd love to work with you more. Miss Burns, Miss Barton, and Miss Crawford have done a fabulous job this year. Um, and uh, Thank you very much, parents.